Are you tired of boring American cereal? Well, not anymore. Try new churros! Did you know churros?
What are churros?
Oh, she don't know churros. You don't know churros? Oh my god! Do you know churros? No. Aye.
What are they made out of?
The usual pig fat and donkey lard. So yummy. Taste it. Taste. Yeah, have little American dog taste. It brings out the Mexican in you. Mexican. Cheers! Hello, and welcome to Channel 5 News. I'm your host, Billy Nacho, and my co-host, Bobby Cheese. Today's topic is terrorism. The latest is Osama bin Laden is dead, but let's take a look at the past before he was slaughtered like the animal he is. At the end of 2000, Richard Clarke revealed that Islamic militants headed by bin Laden had planned a triple attack on January 3, 2000, which would have included bombings in Jordan of the Radisson SAS Hotel and airmen and tourists at Mount Nebra and a site on the Jordan River. The sinking of the destroyer USS Sullivan in Yemen, as well as an attack on a target within the United States. Bin Laden funded the Luxor massacre of November 17, 1997, which killed 62 civilians, spread outraged the Egyptian public. In mid-1997, the Northern Alliance threatened to overrun Jalalabad, causing bin Laden to abandon his Nassim Jihad compound and move his operations to Tarnak farms in the south. It is believed that the first bombing attack involving bin Laden was the December 29, 1992 bombing of the Gold Mahar Hotel in Aden, in which 2 people were killed.
On September 11, 2001, there was an attack on America. 2 of the planes were crashed into the World Trade Center in New York City. The 3rd plane was crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and the last plane was going to crash into another building in Washington, D.C., but the passengers stopped the hijackers and the plane was crashed into a field instead.
But what was it like to actually have been there? Well, let's find out. Here in the interview room, we have my co-host Bobby Cheese interviewing Mr. Terry Taylor, a primary source of 9/11. Bobby.
Hi, and thank you, Billy, for that wonderful introduction. Here with us today is Mr. Terry Taylor, a primary source of the 9/11 tragedy. So, Mr. Terry Taylor, tell us, where were you when this tragedy occurred?
I was, when I first heard that an airplane had hit the first building, I was just pushing back from the gate in Chicago on a flight that was supposed to go to Long Island. And so I was thinking that I would see the fire caused by the first airplane that hit the first tower.
What was your first thought when you heard all the news?
Well, you know, the news was kind of all over the place that morning. The first thing they said was that a light airplane had hit one of the towers. And looking at the news before we pushed back, seeing how big the hole was in the tower, I knew that there's no way that was a light airplane. It had to be a big airplane. So my first thought was, I wonder what big airplane crashed into the tower that no one knows is missing yet, because it makes no sense that a big airplane would hit and no one would know it was missing. And then I was thinking, well, we'll get to fly around on our way to Long Island and probably see some of the fire caused by that crash. But of course, at the time, we didn't know that it was a terrorist attack. We just thought it was an accident of an airplane flying into a building.
Well, whenever you found out that it really was a terrorist, what was your reaction?
Well, we realized then that any airplane could probably be used for the same type of event. So it made us think, wow, even our airplane could be used by a terrorist to do that. But we didn't realize there was a second airplane that was about to hit another building. When we learned that that had happened, then we really started to realize that we better be careful. We locked the cockpit doors, and normally they're open and you can go back and forth freely. The flight attendants could go in and out, but we locked them up at that point. And then not long after that, the air traffic controllers told us that we had to land immediately. They were making all airplanes in the United States land immediately. No one could be flying. That way, if there was an airplane flying, they knew it was a terrorist airplane that had been hijacked because the rest of us had landed. So they were in a big hurry to get all the airplanes to land as quickly as possible.
Were you ever scared to fly again after this?
No. See, the accidents caused were not from problems flying airplanes. They were caused from terrorists getting access to the cockpit of an airplane. And very quickly we took steps to make sure that that could not happen. So there wasn't really a fear of flying. It did increase the difficulty of flying. As customers know, going through security now takes a lot longer than it used to.
Well, thank you, Mr. Taylor.
You're welcome.
And God bless America. Back to you, Billy.
Thank you, Bob. Well, that's a wrap. Until next time, check your underwear for bombs and have a good night.
And God bless America.
Oh, did you hear that like screech at the end? Well, thank you, Mr. Taylor, for that exciting interview. Dang it, I forgot already.
Oh my
Are you tired of boring American cereal?